Hello and welcome to Philosophy 126 on logic and argumentative writing. This course is going to be on the fundamentals of argumentation and persuasive writing. Arguments can come in many shapes and forms, and some are aimed at the truth, while some try to tell you what you ought to believe, and others aim merely at persuading you one way or the other. But some kinds of arguments are ultimately good by being successful at establishing their conclusions or making their conclusions plausible, while other arguments are bad. They fail to guarantee their conclusions or are flawed in some way or other. Now, it's important to be able to recognize when an argument is good or bad in various ways, as sometimes arguments can be very persuasive but fail to actually establish the truth of their conclusions, while other times arguments can seem wildly implausible, but can turn out to be true. So in this class, we're going to be studying different types of arguments, the kinds of arguments you might come across in the wild, like while reading or from the mouth of a politician. And we'll be discussing these arguments through some rather outlandish examples, which should add to some fun. Things like aliens, anti-vaxxers, astrology, mind reading, deep state control, conspiracy theories. All of these are going to be on the table, including some more outlandish scientific arguments that we hear about generally in popular culture. Using these examples, we will learn how to sort good arguments from bad arguments, and how to spot persuasive arguments that succeed in supporting their conclusions and distinguish them from ones that don't. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Kyle Dickey. I'm your instructor for this class. There's my email, kydickey@calpoly.edu. Please feel free to email me any questions. I'll be trying to get back to you within a day or two. My office hours this quarter are going to be from noon to 2 p.m. On Fridays and by appointment. So if you want to meet outside of those times, feel free to email me. Also, I suggest that you send me an email if you want to meet for my office hours so that I can get you the Zoom link for the office hour meeting. The textbook that we're going to be using in this class is called How to Think About Weird Things, Critical Thinking for a New Age. It's by Theodore Schick and Louis Vaughn, and there's a number of different editions of this textbook. And I'm using the 8th edition, but I believe that the 7th edition should be fine. It's probably cheaper to pick up the 7th edition, or if you can find it somewhere online. This textbook is available on Amazon. It's available in the bookstore, and if you are sneaky or tricky, I can't tell you, I can't condone you searching around for PDFs on the back corner of the internet, but I also can't stop you from finding PDFs in the back corners of the internet. Some further information on the course. So all of the course material is going to be available for you on the Course Canvas website. Everything other than the textbook. Everything will be posted, everything will be explained on the Canvas website in sort of the different modules. So how this course is going to work is there will be weekly course modules posted on Canvas, and each course module will have the weekly writing assignment posted, what you're supposed to read in the textbook. There may be some further readings or worksheets or assignments posted as well on the page for the module for that week. There will be a lecture, at least one lecture, sometimes multiple lectures depending on length or what the topic is. There may be some further YouTube videos or things posted to be helpful and interesting that are worth watching. And then there will be a reading quiz, or just a quiz that will cover both the reading material and the lecture. These quizzes are not designed to be terribly difficult. They're designed so that just to sort of ensure that you've done the required reading and the required watching of the lectures. Then there will be 2 exams that will make up the bulk of your grade. There will be a midterm exam sometime probably in the 6th week, and there will be a final exam. The exams will consist of, well, so first of all, the quizzes are pretty much all multiple choice and true false, but the exams will consist of both multiple choice, true false, fill in the blank answers, sort of making sure that you've like giving definitions, giving short written arguments, etc. So there will be some writing for the exams, but everything is going to be open book, open lecture, open note. So you'll have access to basically everything from the class up to that point. And so you really don't have an excuse for not getting an A. I just do highly suggest that you don't sort of wait until the last minute and try to cram learning everything in during midterm week or during finals week. The grade breakdown. The quizzes that you take are going to be worth 30% of your grade, so you definitely need to do them. The midterm exam will also be worth 30% of your grade, and the final exam, which will be cumulative and cover everything over the whole class, not just the second half of the class, is going to be worth 40% of your grade for a grand total of 100%. The grading scale also will be the normal grading scale, right? So anything above a 90 or above is going to be in the A range, right? A minus, A plus. The 80s will be a B range, 70s will be a C range, etc. And depending on how the class goes, there may be a curve if a lot of people do poorly, but my guess and hope and desire is that everybody gets an A. And so, hopefully the class won't be too difficult, and then you'll all be able to get an A. And you can always contact me nearing the end of the class if you're doing poorly and want to ask about the possibility of getting some sort of extra credit. Finally, the 2 course rules here. The late policy, if you turn in a quiz late after the date it's due, it will be docked 10 to 15% depending on how late the quiz is. That doesn't mean you should not do the quiz. You should always take the quiz even if it's late. And because, it's only going to be docked up to 15%, even if it's like turned in at the very end of the class. But if it's turned in, just a day or two late, it won't be docked that much. Exams are a different story, though. Exams will not be accepted late. You must complete the exam during the week that the exam is due, right? So the midterm exam is pretty much the only one that's really important here. You need to pay attention and complete the midterm exam on time. And then finals week exam, you definitely need to complete that during finals week. Otherwise, you will fail the class. You can't turn in an exam late unless you have some sort of medical excuse, and if you have some sort of valid medical excuse, then I need to see some sort of accompanying documentation just to verify the medical excuse. Plagiarism also is not to be tolerated. No cheating of any sort will be tolerated in this course. Because the class is open book, open note, and open lecture, and you have access to all the material, you have access to everything that you need to know in order to answer all of the questions that are available to you right in front of you. You can just go back to the material and look at it. And none of the quizzes or lectures or anything are going to really be timed. They're going to have due dates, but they're not going to be timed in the sense that like you only have an hour to complete them. So you can always just do the work slowly and make sure you go back and find everything that you need to get in order to get an A in the class. There will be some written work that must be turned in for the midterm and final. And in that written work, your answers must ultimately be your own words. They must come from your own mind. You can't just copy and paste things that are written in the textbook or take exact, just turning in exactly what I've said in lecture. That will count as some form of plagiarism and cheating, and that will result in a failing grade. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't, in some sense, just write down what I say. You just have to write down what I say in your own words. So you need to reformulate it, think about it, and determine how it is best to be, to put something when you're answering a question, and then that's not going to count as plagiarism at all. The only thing that really counts as plagiarism is if, say, you just, turn on your recorder take the YouTube videos and take all the subtitles from the YouTube videos and then just like copy and paste them into the answer. That is not allowed. Welcome to this class, and good luck, everybody, and let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.